Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Asia Pickleball Insider. I am your host, Nigo Claudio, and alongside me today is the one and only
Rob Nunnery.
Rob is coming at us now from Mumbai, India.
Straight out of
So
Bombay, baby.
so you were there now for the Pickleball Grand Slam, which is gonna be really, really exciting. And the first event that you have is gonna be that team event.
Yes. And we had Shashank on the podcast a while back talking about this event and how it's a 500K USD tournament, which is insane. It's a massive tournament. They've got 1,500 players. And yeah, it's half of it for the pros anyways. It's a pro team league. And then the other half is individual tournament. So I've got quite a few events to play. First will be a team match, and that's the 17th. That's today's the 15th. So that is Wednesday evening is when we'll kick things off. A little update on our team. Spencer Lanier is the other American male on the team, and he messed up his visa somehow, so he's not coming. So we have a replacement coming from the Seattle area. I don't want to mess up his last name, but it's Zwiren. Sorry, no, I should know how to pronounce your last name, but I don't. But Thomas, you knows him pretty well from Ram Sports because he's also based in Seattle. So Thomas had good things to say. So looking forward to meeting Noah and playing with him. Good addition to the team. And Spencer, come on, bro. Got to give Spencer. Spencer, unbelievable.
Oh man, so last minute for the
last
Ninjas.
minute sub. It's not ideal for for the team, but got to do what we can with it. What I do like about our team is we have Arjun Singh, who I believe, I always say he's 15. It feels like he's been 15 for 3 years now, but I think he's 15. And I've gone on record saying I think he's the best 15-year-old player in the world. And I find that, I do believe that to be true. He's such a good kid too. So kind and humble and just works hard. And I remember first sitting with him in 2023 when I came over to Bombay for the first time and being really impressed. Like, he technically, as a pickleball player, everything is really sharp. Like, everything looks the way it should look. And I think it's just a matter of him getting exposure and getting older and getting more experience. I mean, he's a kid, but I think he is super talented, and it's exciting to have him on the team because I'm going to practice with him today as well. And it's just nice to be able to kind of guide and mentor players like that are super talented, but also are just good people and good kids.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, speaking of exposure, he's gonna get some in your first matchup. So I'm looking at the schedule now. So 8:30 to 8:30 p.m. December 17th Mumbai time. The Nashik Ninjas face off against the I'm gonna mispronounce this. Coimbatore
Works for me.
Coimbatore Super Smashers, which
Okay.
is a lineup of Richard Liverneys, Ryler DeHart, Mario Walzak, Polycare. I'm messing this up. Pervanch Patel. Oh,
Sure.
men's doubles, Richard and Ryler, two APP medalists. How do you think it's gonna go for you guys?
I'm
How are
gonna
you
light
guys
them
looking at
up.
that match?
I'm gonna absolutely destroy them. And it's funny because it is two of my partners for the individual tournament. I'm playing with Ryler in the Open Pro, and then I'm playing with Sir Richard Liverneys Jr., also a junior. I'm playing with him in the split age, which will be fun. So it's just a shame that I have to put him in such low spirits the first day of competition.
I did not realize Ryler DeHart was 40 something.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing reels about him like Encore. So you and Ryler, Team Unk, gonna
Exactly right. Exactly right. Shout out to Ryler DeHart. He just won the singles title at the APP at the Fort last week. So his first ever
Oh yeah.
singles gold at his age. Think about how crazy that is.
I saw it. I saw the highlights. I saw the interview. It was hilarious and it was crazy to watch.
His celly was a little silly. I don't think it was prepared. Just shirt over his head. Just what are you doing, bro?
That's gonna be exciting.
But interesting thing with the format is the Indian player on your team, because every team has an Indian player. They have to play at least one game in the match.
No, and I also
So
saw, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
if I read it correctly, if there is a 2-2 tie, they're required to play that fifth game.
I believe they are not. I think I read that
Um,
they are not required.
Mandatory for Indian player to game one game in the tie. I'm not sure what that means.
And each team only has one, right? It's not one male and one female. It's just one of the other. So think about that. That's interesting for strategy because we've got, I believe, 3 male, 2 female on our team. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like, getting confirmation from you on who's on my team. But yes,
Yeah,
yes, okay,
tournament.
that's correct. That's correct. So with that being the case, I would imagine that it would probably be myself and Noah playing men's doubles, and Arjun would probably be our singles guy if we played men's singles, because you can either play, it's basically a coin toss. Whoever wins the coin toss gets to choose whether you want to play male singles or female singles. So I would say Pei on our female side is probably our best overall singles player. And then, so I think that's what we would opt to do. Obviously depends on who's across the net and who our opponents are. If they have, a really, really good female singles player, maybe we reconsider that. But it brings up interesting strategy having to have an Indian player play one match, because I would probably just lean to put Arjun in singles, because I believe that's probably where he would be strongest for us. Yeah, and no player can play more than 2 games as well in any given match. So it's not like I could play singles, men's, and mixed. You can only play 2. So there's some interesting constraints that I actually really like. And I did see that it's rally scoring to 21, but there's no freeze. But I do hope that you have to win on your serve.
You gotta ask that. That's
Yeah.
a great point.
Yeah. So we got to figure that one out. But I would think that is how it would work. But we'll see.
That's gonna be interesting. And you were talking about opting whether to pick men's or women's singles. Your second matchup is the Hyderabad Vikings.
Nailed
I feel
it.
like I nailed that.
You nailed it. Well done.
And that team is led by Rose Van Riek,
Yeah.
and Sultana Bar on the women's side, with Thomas Yu, Randy Blanco, and then Himansh Mehta for the men. If you're playing against Rose, do you opt the women's singles there, or do you?
I mean, Thomas is good at men's as well. Thomas is a good men's singles player. I mean, he's taken down
Everyone.
Yeah, he can beat most anybody. So yeah, who knows?
That's a hard matchup.
Pick your poison on the singles, right? Yeah, Rose and Susanna are going to be a good women's team as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig into a lot of the matchups we have going into it and see what our best options are if we win the coin toss and we can choose, and also then do probably a format of if we lose the toss and trying to pick what they would do and how we would respond to it. So yeah, there's lots to sort through. It'll make the sports predictions fun for the pod picks.
Yeah, that's gonna be out right before your first game, so you guys should do your predictions there. A lot of them will be focused around the Nashik Ninjas, but of course we'll also feature the other group and the other players playing there. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We have to beat Rob. We cannot let him again.
I control my own destiny here, Migo.
You're not gonna do that. Well,
I know,
if it's you have to win and you win, you like pull out the performance of your life out of somewhere, then fine, take it. You deserve it.
Yeah, fair.
But then you're just gonna pick you to lose all your games.
No, I certainly. I want to win, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the team is tough to predict, right? Like rally scoring, it kind of suits the underdog a little bit, which I would say we're probably the underdog, especially now having one of our starters not be here. So, anything can happen in a game to 21. Yeah. Probably not the strongest team on paper, but I think we can beat anybody.
That's the mindset. So your third of 4 matchups in your group. The next one is the Jaipur Stallions, where you're going to be facing off against Len Yang, Jack Monroe, Selena Turulja, Alexa Shul, and Aditya Ruhela. Jack and Len, what's your mindset going?
Light them up.
Jack just won. Right?
I'm not kidding.
Either you're not giving me the strategy, you're not telling us the strategy, or you're really just planning to light them up.
Oh, I'm really planning to light them up. Factual.
That is the strategy.
It is the strategy. It was fun though. Lynn practiced with us in Shenzhen before I came over here. So he was there doing some clinics, I think. So he came and trained with Thomas a little bit. and he jumped in with us. So it was fun to practice with him. Super talented. He's bigger than I remember. Like, he's actually pretty tall and pretty long. And it's got a great, obviously got a great backhand flick, has good table tennis background. So it'll be fun to play him and Jack and light him up.
I love the mindset. What is
Yeah.
the plan of attack?
To light him up. I mean, that is my strategy. Is to light him up. It
That's
will
what
be
we're
interesting.
gonna see.
I've never played with Noah before. I've played with Arjun some. We're gonna have to figure out what our optimal teams are in terms of what we want to put out for men's. Women's is obviously women's. Like, we've got Pei and Rihanna, who will be a very tough women's team. So I like that. Rihanna and Pei are both good at mixed as well. So I like that. And yeah, so it's just kind of figuring out the singles piece, and then also trying to see how other teams will use their Indian player. Having Aditya Ruhela, he's a great singles player, so that's very obvious. They're going to put him in for singles. So what our strategy would be there is, since Aditya is a much better singles player than a doubles player, is we'd try to put out women's, so he doesn't get to play singles and he has to play dubs, because that puts us at a big advantage, I think. So there's going to be really interesting nuances like that. And I kind of like the fact that there's one Indian player per team, but it's not both men and women, because that creates even more nuance of how can you set up the matchup to where it's in your favor, the best. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. And then your final matchup, you're playing off against the Kolkata Kings, and here you have Patrick Coca, Yana Newell, Clayton Powell, and someone we've been hyping up for the past few months, Danny Townsend. And then their Indian player is Purav Raja.
Purov. Love it. Yeah, you definitely try to make them play. You try to make them play. Well, let's see. Purov's a doubles player, not a singles player. I mean, but one of my favorite people. Like, I'm excited for people to watch Purov. He's hilarious. He's such a good entertainer. And I mean, world-class doubles tennis player. Also does like all of the commentary for the TV networks in India. So like, whenever the French Open's going or Wimbledon, he's always doing the analysis and commentary for it for India TV. And he's just, yeah, great hands, really good feel, good touch, and just a super guy. Like, really, really great guy. So yeah, excited that he's going to get to play, but we're going to try to put him try to make him be in a weird spot as best we can. So I got to think through all the strategies and all these matchups. So it's gonna be fun to try to figure all that out and compete.
Awesome. So that's your group. Of course, there's the
Yep.
group on the other side. That is the Madras Arenas, being led by Harsh Mehta. Yusha is also there, and then other teams: Delhi Snipers, Bobby Oshiro, Casey Diamond, Mumbai Warriors, QD on the other side, Bengaluru Blazers. You got Fook and a few others, and then finally the Ahmedabad Olympians: Megan Fudge, Ronan Jack Cameron, Shelby Bates, and a few others. Who do you think who's your first rough guess? Who's making it out the other side to face off against, obviously, the Nashik Ninjas, who are making that other group after lighting everyone up?
Well, everybody makes it out, I think. I think the top seed on each gets a automatic bye into the semis, and then the others, like, 2 will play 5 from the other bracket, 3 will play, or 2 will play maybe 6. I don't remember. There's 10 teams total, or
There is 10. Yeah.
yeah, so 2 plays 5. Yeah. Each side. So who's going to come out the top? Hard to say. I think the fun part about this is that just hearing you like name the teams, all the teams are pretty good. Like, they're all pretty like level across the board in terms of strength. Like, I'm not hearing any team and being like, oh, that's a walkover, or like, that's going to be super easy. And especially with the rally scoring, where variance happens and you have close games, I think all the teams are lined up to be pretty competitive, and which is going to make really fun viewing and viewership.
Yeah, so that's gonna be yeah. So where can we watch that again? Are the links available already?
Yeah. We'll drop it. We'll drop it in the show notes and the description.
All right. Cannot wait to watch. Then, so moving on to the normal tournament, or how would you call that? The non-team tournament. So this is where you're gonna be playing. There's the open men's doubles, which you're playing with Riley the Heart. Some of the other teams, there's no brackets yet, unfortunately. But when it comes to the other teams, the other pairings. You have QD and Harsh Mehta. So QD playing with a lefty. That's gonna be interesting. Similar to what he did with Jack in the Joy.
That was who we lost. Ryler and I played together at the Monsoon in August, and we got silver. We got second place, and we ended up losing to QD and Harsh in the final. So hoping for a rematch there. Just gotta get there.
Line them up.
Gotta light them up.
Then other pairs of note, you got Fook playing with Roman Estareja. You got Thomas Yu playing with Casey Diamond, Jack and Len, Richard and Patrick, and everyone else. But overall, a really strong field. It's gonna be exciting to see how many people get lit up by Rob.
Richard and Kalka?
Yeah.
Interesting. I would say they're both left side players. So it'd be interesting to see what side each plays.
That's gonna be maybe they switch, maybe they don't stack. No,
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
No, it's not a terrible idea.
So then in the mix, you have you and Nicholas Schumann, of course, playing off. Other pairs, you have another Ram Sports pair with Thomas Yu and Yushe playing together.
Nice.
You have Jack and Megan Fudge. You have Danny Townsend and Len Yang.
Yep.
That's gonna be fun to watch. You have QD and Rose. That might be the favorite. Outside of you, of course. Who else do we have? Richard and Bobby. Richard Liverneese and Bobby Oshiro. So
I would say
pairing.
Richard and Bobby would be favored over QD and Danny.
Interesting. And then Ryler the Heart and Pei Chuan Kao.
Nice.
That's
My
also
teammate.
Your teammate playing against your teammate and your teammate.
I gotta cheer for them. Gotta cheer for them, just not against me.
So yeah, that's overall this is gonna be a really, really exciting tournament. Cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And predict.
Gonna be good fun. We made new predictions on the individual. We'll see if we get the brackets in time to put it up. But I also don't know because sometimes they'll do pool play then bracket, which makes it a little tough to do markets for it. But I think the team stuff's going to be more fun to track prediction wise. So we'll at least do the pro league predictions, and then if we can and it makes sense, we'll do the individual brackets as well.
Yeah. So moving on to some other Asian pickleball news. You have in the Philippines, Pickle Yard, which is one of the main club venue developers here in the country, have decided to start their own pro league. That's going to be the Pickle Yard Conference League. So the way they're doing it is they're going to be doing tryouts in January. So anyone that's interested in becoming a pro within the country from all three regions of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao can reach out to them and join their tryouts to become a pro. It's a salaried league with regional and local sponsors. And it's going to be interesting to see how that develops, how that goes. Interesting to see who gets discovered, of course, we have the pros that are already very well known, already signed by the Pickle Yard. But then also, of course, there's going to be people from the province reaching out. So it's cool to see a local Philippine company doing that, and hope that goes well for them.
Am I eligible to play on that?
That's a great question. You should submit. You should join the audition. Just
submit an application. I'll submit an application.
Yeah, you should submit an application. That should be fun.
It'd be cool to play if I'm there.
That would.
Do we know anything about the format or like timing or schedule or like what is it? How many teams, etc.?
So I'm not sure those are available yet. It's the tryouts will be on January 3rd, but in terms of when the actual games, when it will actually start, it's gonna be sometime in 2026, probably midway through the year.
Gotcha.
But of course, if you get in, they'll tell you. That's a given.
Yeah.
If you might not pass the audition.
Got to put a good application in.
And then, so the last thing for this episode is the one that everyone wants us to talk about. The big news in the pickleball space this week, the UPA situation. So, for those who don't know, the UPA terminated the contracts of James Ignatowicz, Ryan Fu, and Vivian Glossman for doing a clinic in Japan. Paris Todd was also present at the event, and her contract is currently under review, whatever that means. So, yeah. What's your take, Rob?
I mean, UPA just saved a lot of money, on inflated contracts as is. So, cutting James is it's a big cost saving. So I don't know, obviously Ryan Fu put out a statement kind of sharing his version of it, that they did the same clinic last year in Japan, that they got approval, that there was no competition pre-termination, which that's kind of the biggest, like, that's the most egregious thing to me, is that there's no conversation with your players and just trying to gain an understanding of what's happening versus just saying, you know, you're terminated and just posting it publicly and finding out about it like that. Seems a little crazy to me. But I think, yeah, I don't know. Is it a great look? No, probably not, especially just not having the conversations with them. And especially if what Ryan's saying is accurate. And I know Samin had a response to Ryan's message and saying that basically it wasn't an approved thing and they didn't ask for approval, only James asked for approval, but it sounded like James asked for approval for the whole group. And it's just semantics and stuff like that. And it just feels like they were looking for any excuse to drop the contracts. That's just kind of how it comes across, whether that's true or not. But I don't know. I think, you know, James has a lot going on with this paddle company. It's obviously doing very well. And, you know, I think he'll be able to focus on that a lot more. I saw him in Hong Kong. He was teaching a clinic and he seemed fine. Seemed a little tired, but he seemed fine. And he's going to spend a lot of time in Asia. So he's going to go down to Manila. I'll try to connect you, your dad, and Steve, all so you guys can get together. He's going to be going to the factory where the paddles get made for quite a bit as well, to try to dial that in. But yeah, it's great to see his success in terms of the business side. And I think that's obviously been a bit more of his focus. You know, just you see in the results, right? Like his results have dropped off a little bit, but the business is booming and he's crushing the paddle sales. So it makes sense. Like from a life and business perspective, not the end of the world to lose the contract. He had one more year on it. Obviously it was paying very well, but now he can put a lot of money, time, and effort into the business. And I think that will probably net positive him in the long run.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you on the way it looks right now for the UPA, with, you know, especially with the way UPA is set up, having a player set up their own paddle brand that can compete against the major sponsors of the PPA event.
Yeah.
It's really not a good look on their part. And
Is Nigo dropping a conspiracy theory that, you know, that RPM's infringing on Yola territory and we had to shut them
no,
down?
absolutely not. It's a paddle brand that competes with UPA.
Yeah.
And how do they delegitimize that? The two, because Ryan and James are both RPM. They both
Yeah.
use the RPM paddle, and RPM is not one of the companies on the UPA board. So
But how is the whole Paris thing? How is Paris not looped into the group?
that could then that and the guest there is because she's with Franklin, and Franklin, she's like, they made her signature paddle, and
Maybe, but I think Paris
be
is also versus James, Ryan, Vivian. Paris is a more important personal brand and player to the PPA than the others. So that's also kind of
For
the
sure.
look of it's not. It looks like they're treating different people, giving different people different treatment based on their standing with the organization and the value that they provide to the organization. Which, if you're gonna lay down terminations, be consistent.
That's the look PPA is giving right now. Whether they say something to change that or just let this sit. I mean, the public consensus is, when you read the comments on the UPA post, on the players' post, you see people all over just saying what they were doing was growing the sport of pickleball. They weren't even competing in a tournament. It was just a clinic.
Yeah.
Why is this and all that? So public sentiment is really shifting, and we'll see if the UPA is going to defend against that or just leave it be. And I'm sure the story will have more details unfold in the coming weeks.
Is there
But
there's not, I can't think of another sports league that has kind of a worse reputation amongst fans than the UPA has in pickleball. You know, like you don't feel that kind of like disdain with other front office like leagues. Maybe like the WNBA, they try to shoot themselves in the foot a lot, but you don't see it much from other.
yeah, I mean, Formula One has the FIA, and that, though they always cause issues, but that's for a whole different reason than
Yeah. But at least
what-
they're an independent body, right? Which it's a little different. It's a little different. There's a lot of conflicts of interest in pickleball.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so it's a difficult situation. Hoping for the best for all the players affected. Wishing the
Yeah.
best for James, for Ryan, for Vivian, and whatever the situation that Paris thought ends up being. Hope that goes well for everyone. And well, hope to see James around in Asia. Maybe he'll compete, more competition for you, more people to light up.
Let's go, James.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a not bitter.
I think it's a
Bit
good.
of a
I think
sad.
I think it's good for them, to be honest. There's so much opportunity out there now. They have more freedom and flexibility to pursue different things, whatever they want to pursue. I think it's going to open up a lot of doors that they wouldn't have been able to previously.
Loving that outlook. And I think, I saw Ryan already had like 60 plus clubs reach out to him to do clinics.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
60 clinics.
bless him for wanting to teach that much. It's not on my bingo card, but
Yeah. So on that note, wishing the best to all the players. That's it for this week's episode of the Asia Pickleball Insider. We'll be back next week and within the week as well to do the Sports predictions. Thank you, Sports Predict, again for sponsoring. Thank you as well to Ram Sports. I just used this in my tournament this weekend and it was amazing. My brother switched to it too. Like
let's
one day of using
go.
it, same day I did switch to it. Great battle. And yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Signing off. This is the Asia
Bye.
Pickleball Insider.